In the bottom left, we have our Protoss player, a champion. He is
SK Telecom T1 Rain.
And over here in the upper right is our only Terran today. He is
MVP Keen.
The place he puts his depot there, it reminds me back when this game was brand new and we were basically talking to.
Oh, and I was saying that's like
you said it every time just to make sure people understood what was going on. How this supply depot, he's putting it here, but he's going to lower it so that his workers go over.
I believe I was like, well, you should do this because when your friends watch, you're going to say, hey, wait,
yeah,
that's going to block the depot, and then you're going to know, watch, just go and sink it.
Yeah.
That is space efficient. No, for some reason I was thinking about that too. Yeah. It's I was like, of course we've been playing StarCraft 1 for so many, 10 years by then. So it was so funny when StarCraft 2 was out. I'm watching people do that, and I'm like, that just doesn't look right. I'm not okay with that. You can't put a depot there, but.
Well, that's StarCraft 1. You'd put the depot on some maps near the geyser to make sure you mine it more efficient.
To the left a little bit.
Yeah.
And it would make the workers go in more of a straight line because the pathing wasn't completely proper in StarCraft 1.
Mm-hmm. So, looks like this is about a 15 gas from Keen, but this is a good scout timing by Rain. We'll see exactly what he wants to do with that 15 gas. Could be a factory after the command center. Rain is going to be very careful about that. Now, Rain is the best defensive Protoss that we've ever had.
Yeah, of all time.
To the point where he's really predictable. At
the same time, that's also one of these factors that doesn't matter as much as it does with other players. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes players that are solid, even if they're predictable, it's like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, especially with Terran and Zerg because they have a more mapped out mechanical way of playing.
Right.
I would say that that's even more the case. Now, we do have that reactor going up. He is making this engineering bay. And the engineering bay going to be a little bit annoying, but Rain, of course, started as Zealot, so not going to be that big an issue. I want to see if Keen's going to grab the Double Reaper, because that's definitely something he's done before.
Yeah.
In this matchup. It can be really good for scouting. On this map, not
Look at this SCV micro. He's actually continuing to try to build this eBay. Now, he's going to cancel this, obviously, at the end. This is just to delay the Nexus.
And he loses that SCV, so down it goes. And actually, that was handled quite well by Rain, which actually is his clan by. Look at that. By Rain.
Whoa, how about that?
Look at what I did.
You're so good at casting. You're making good casting moves without even knowing it.
I am. So there is that factory. It's not going to be the Double Reaper play. Not actually surprised to see that it's not the Double Reaper play. The quicker factory, though. You have to be careful with this against Rain because the one style that Rain likes the most right now, if he sees any sort of fast gas, is going for a Robo and a Forge, cannon in each mineral line, and 3 Stalkers. And with that, you defend most anything.
Yeah.
That's tech heavy. Now, if it's like reactored Hellions, that can be an issue. So will that be the type of style that Keen uses here?
We'll have to see. Again, Protoss with Rain here, as we've said, every time you see us cast Rain, he's so safe. In fact, I almost sometimes feel like he's too safe. He might want to incorporate a little bit more cheese. Oh, that's too bad. That Zealot taking some more damage here. Now going to have to back up. Nice placement of the Marines there by Keen to bait that Zealot up. Did take a peek, though. Does see clearly, like as you said, okay, no Reaper teching. He's got a reactored barracks.
He's got a decent amount of information so far. In fact, I think it's enough for him to fall through the strategy. He's already made 2 Stalkers, a 3rd Stalker on the way. The Forge almost finished. Yep, that's Rain for you. I did say he's a bit predictable. There's one cannon going up. He doesn't have a pylon at his natural yet, so that's going to take a bit longer. But that's where he'll probably have his Stalkers stationed, so it's not as important to get one there as quickly.
Now, it looks like Keen may be going to harass in 2 different locations. Have the medevac come out here and drop in the main, and meanwhile have another attack over here in the front. And this is timed out so that it gets there before the observer has actually identified that the Terran is going for harass-based strat.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, with those Marines in his main, I think he's actually not going to do that. I think he's going to stay back and just do this one drop here. Well,
he has some at the watchtower, so...
You know what's funny about it is that he has enough back at home just there over the minerals. So this is clearly meant to just do a little bit of damage.
Yeah, it's like a kind of light harassment. This isn't some sort of all-in or something, but here he goes. He is pushing at the front here. In the meantime, a medevac going towards the main base here, and there is that photon cannon, of course, so as long as he reacts quickly to this. And how many probes? 1 probe lost. This was a good defense, really good defense.
This was not worth it here for Keen. The amount that he lost here. Let's see if he can get the medevac out now.
Yeah,
can this actually... If
he will kill this, I think. If he micros just right. And yeah, it's not much of an issue. So
Keen now... Oh, well, hold that
makes it a lot more painful. And look at that. Pulls that into the Marines as well. This has been, like, literally a perfect defense. He's lost
this is
2 probes.
This is like S-class defense. I think he lost 2 or 3.
A total of 4 this game, one of which was a scout, I believe. So this was as good a defense as you can really hope for.
And I think from here, Rain might just go for a 2-base timing. He's throwing up 5 gates right now, and he's gonna have Colossi on the way too here. Now I don't know about Keen attacking in here. I don't know if he's learned his lesson quite yet.
Yeah, you know, there's even another photon overcharge ready. Brings up these 3 stalkers. There's just with micro, there's no way that Rain's army really gets hurt here. He's actually hoping for like lucky pulls in the Widowmine or something.
Does a very nice job there, triggering the Nexus cannon.
And all
he's just going to stay away from this Widowmine.
Yeah, he just brings over the Observer, and then this will all be cleaned up. And, like, that's kind of rough.
Well, he did get that 1 Observer, but I don't know if that's worth losing 2 medevacs and Widowmines and a lot of Marines.
You know, I actually really love Keen as a Terran player.
I love him
he's
as
so
a human
talented.
being.
You know, I don't know him that well as a human being, so I'm going to, you know, I like him. He's very friendly to me, but I can't say that I love him at this moment. I mean, I'm not like ready for that.
You're not ready for that kind of commitment.
More open with that, but for me, I like him, and I love his play. But I do have to ask myself if he prepared specifically for Rain at all, because this looks like just a build he would use against any Protoss. And I said Rain was predictable. I said exactly what he was probably going to do. He did it exactly, stomped everything, and that's not. All you have to do is watch all of Rain's games from last season, and you're like, okay. Yeah. There's a very clear pattern what Rain's doing.
There's always one Protoss player who plays stable while the rest of the Protoss players are usually trying to do sneaky stuff. And Rain's that guy. It reminds me of Bisu from StarCraft 1. Bisu just played absolutely standard. Like very, very, very safe. Good to fast expand up. He's not building gates in somebody else's main.
A lot of harassment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's... But I wonder why he's chosen this set of strategies, because looking at this, right, we have Blink on the way. We have the 3rd Colossus going to pop with range. We do have, I mean, the gateways are all hit perfect. He's going to hit his expansion timing just right. His upgrades are completely fine at 1-1 at the moment.
I think
there's not a kill timing at all here.
Rain just moves out, and this is going to be... Oh, well, hold on. There's a drop now coming in here.
Well, the Photon Cannon is there. We'll see. He might actually get lucky this time. Oh, my God. That Widowmine. Oh! 12
the harassment
kills.
he had been waiting for this whole time.
Yeah, that's actually big.
Keep in mind, Keen lost a lot early on. So he doesn't have a substantial army. Some of his army is in Rain's base, rather. So this means that Keen's whole second base here can actually just get run over if he doesn't control this perfectly. And even if he controls it perfectly, he could still be in some trouble.
Well, it's pretty hard to stop this because there are 4 sentries in there with huge amount of energy. There are 3 ranged Colossus now as this next one comes up. And look at that. He has to pull those SCVs down. Looks like they are not really going to do that well. I love the force fields. And the thing is, he's already done enough counter damage that those 12 probes no longer matter as much.
This Rain goes back, just makes sure to make another warp-in round, and now he's going to go back to poking in at the second base.
Oh, this is so painful as Keen. Now, the one thing we can say is that there's not any force fields left, or maybe 1 force field left, and that makes it a lot harder. Notice how he's switched over to this little ramp. Beautiful move there, because he knows he doesn't have enough force fields for the big area.
You know what's so smart is he saw that the SCVs had been pulled and were waiting to defend, so he just went back and warped in more, saying, all right, lost mining time for you.
And now he's added more sentries. He can go further up this ramp. Keen has that factory there to try to draw a lot of shots as well. And wow, look at this. SCV's going to come off. Beautiful force fields going down.
Yep, just
this
takes
is
on
like,
the SCVs first.
This is a brutal amount of damage being done right now to Keen.
No Guardian Shield right now, but again, it looks like there's just too much Protoss everything.
Yeah.
And that should end up bringing us into game number 2 with Rain winning this first one.
Yeah, this was
very convincingly.
Very powerful victory. You know, the Keen with this early harassment, it definitely cuts into your macro a little bit, and then he lost a whole bunch of units trying to harass, doing no damage. Rain just knew he could move out like this. You know, he knew he could poke, especially when that, as you said, Tasteless, he left a piece of his army over at Rain's base.
Yeah, you know, he's going to go ahead and send. It's funny about this is that Rain's so conservative. He's just like, all right, he's dead.
No,
go back and play safe. This is his problem now.
When Rain is ahead, he gets more ahead because you know he really wants to win.
He listens to our toast.
He's not about being flashy. You know?
So this is also probably a frustrating moment for Keen. As Keen's like, oh god, I'm dead. I'm dead. All right, let's see. Like,
what do you even do as Keen? He's so far down in supply. His economy is garbage. He's got 29 SCVs. He lost all his Vikings and his medevac, so he's like very slowly rebuilding those numbers. In the meantime, Rain is just like getting charged and going up to Templar Tech. He's not even upgrading attack or armor. He doesn't need it. He simply doesn't need it.
Now we have the Immortal just being made. There's really not much else to say other than Rain's going to rebuild and his army, and Keen's going to try to rebuild his army. And I mean, there's not there's not much to really tell you guys here.
No,
it's pretty apparent.
Totally. So far, the SCVs versus probe count, it's at 20 to 37. So Terran's winning so far. Just throwing that out there.
Kills. All right, well, Keen's going to try to move out here. Now, it's also, there's no way for Keen to know what exactly his opponent's supply is. I'm sure he assumes it's a lead. I don't know if he realizes that he has, it's 150 to, 100 right now.
Yeah. Well, he knows it's bad. Does he know it's that bad? I don't know. He might even think it's worse. He knows he took a lot of damage, Thing is, I'm trying to figure out what he thinks he can do here, and I suspect he's just going to do one SCV pull, perhaps. But
oh, wow, look at this.
Oh, jeez.
I got to say, this is a bad start for Keen overall. I mean, just for today and all the best of threes he has to play. This is the first game. This leaves a bad taste in your mouth,
To be frank, that was not the strategy he should have used. Like, straight up was not. Against Trap or SOS, that strategy would be an okay one, I think. But you look at the way Rain plays, like, he's never lost to something like that, as far as I know.
No,
not even on the ladder, probably.
He's just so solid.
Yeah. You need to actually be greedy against him, not aggressive against him, because he stomps aggression, stomps it, makes it look silly.
And now I love the Zealot harass, by the way, over in the at the would-be third, but it's actually now the Terran second. Just doing every little thing to keep him behind. There's a drop here. 8 Marauders will soon be dumped out here into Rain's main. Rain calmly going to go back and just defend, not unpowering that warp in.
Well, looks like he's just going to grab the Nexus. I mean, this is a good way to start thinking about trying to come back, right?
Yes.
Kill a Nexus off. That's less chrono boost, less probes, a little bit less mining at least. But losing that medevac, like that medevac. Well, I guess I was going to say that mattered more than the Nexus at this point, but
you know what I feel
either
like?
one doesn't matter right now.
I feel like this is a movie that I actually ended, and now we're just sitting watching the credits, but for some reason we're not allowed to leave.
Yeah, like the
until,
people
the
in our row won't get up on either side. And you don't want to be too rude because they're like on a date and holding hands and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like kind of in the credits right now, and I'm like, okay, wow, like.
Yeah.
So,
but then maybe
Policeman
at the
number 2 was played by a guy named David something.
But maybe at the end there's like some great one of those scenes. I walked out of that new X-Man movie, and apparently it had the sickest scene at the end. But I leave as soon as the credits come up.
Oh.